Hello, and welcome to Narrative Tales. In today's video, I interview Shivani Dhasmana and learn about her experiences as a company secretary. Do you want to just introduce yourself and what you do?
Okay, uh, if I talk about my qualification, I am a company secretary and a lawyer. Okay, and I am working with Spinny as the deputy manager, CS and legal. Uh, so if I talk about my work as a company secretary, I am responsible for taking care of all sort of compliances for the company. So there are a number of compliances, the corporate restructuring related, fundraising related, and the routine filings. That's what I'm handled. Along with that, I handle the contracts also for this company.
Hmm.
And Spinny is a very known name when in terms of so they are into business of selling used cars in India, and they are very renowned company in India. I have worked with a couple of other companies in India previously, and my profile has been similar to what I'm doing here currently. Uh, yeah, so that's about the current this thing, the job and all. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had some questions about like schooling for you. Um,
Hmm.
could you just like walk me through your schooling? Some of your favorite subjects, maybe too.
Okay. I did my schooling initially in Chandigarh, then we moved to Dehradun. That's my native place, Uttarakhand. Okay, and I completed my 12th with commerce subject, and I secured 90% marks at that point of time. And my favorite subjects used to be accounting and economics. So these were my two favorite subjects. Later, after I completed 12th, I immediately enrolled for this CS company secretary this course. So it's a professional degree in India, and so there are two ways you can enter into this profile. One is either you complete your graduation and then enroll yourself for the company secretary this program, or otherwise you can directly do it after 12th. Okay, and so I when once I completed 12th, I immediately enrolled for it, and then it's in three stages: uh, foundation, executive, and professional, and there is a training involved. At that point of time, we were required to get a training of at least 15 months under a practicing company secretary or a company which is like it has the relevant registration to provide this sort of trainings. uh, Around 2026 I completed my degree. That took around 4.5 years, I would say. I completed my 12th in 2011, and by 2026 I completed fifth. So yeah, that's about it. After that, I started my career with corporates. Initial training I had done with the CA firm, where I learned everything like how to do the filings, then what sort of compliances are involved when we are working for a company. Then I started my career with um, a company which used to be a joint venture of Interglobe, Accor, and one more big group. So yeah, that's about the profile. Along with that, I have done BCom also, and then simultaneously I was working with corporates as a company secretary. I prepared for LLB as well, and which I completed 3 years back itself. Yeah, that's about the profile. And if I talk about my the places I have where I have lived, So I was born in Chandigarh, where me and my family stayed for almost 10 years. Then we moved to Dehradun, did my graduation and the initial part of CS, this program, and then I moved to Delhi, where I lived for around 6 7 years. Then I moved to Bangalore, where I worked for around 3.5 years. And 2 years back, I moved back to Gurgaon, and now that's the place where we plan to settle. And in the long run, I got married last year itself. It's been 1 year, so yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. Um, do I have more questions to ask?
Nothing.
So you mentioned moving a lot, right? What were some cultural differences you noticed in these places?
Yeah, see, when I moved to Dehradun, I was a kid, okay? I was just 10 years. So I don't remember much of that time, but yes, moving to a place which is a native, I am an Uttarakhandi, I'm from Uttarakhand, I'm a Gadwali. So when I initially moved from Punjab to this Dehradun, the major difference that I see, people here would speak the Gadwali language more as compared to Punjab, obviously because the population here has 90% of the local people. So yes, and I don't know, when you speak with somebody who is from your culture, maybe you see somehow feel more connected to them. That's what I felt. And yes, when I initially moved here, this place was not that much crowded at that point of time. So yet I remember going to these, I would say, the playgrounds were there, and this sugarcane ki khet and all were there. So that's what I remember. And yeah, the weather, definitely it was pretty good. It used to be rainy season a lot in Dehradun, since it's colder than Punjab. Then if I compare the Bangalore and this Delhi and North region with Bangalore, so again, for me, Bangalore is a totally different place. So the languages spoken there are completely different from what we have in the northern states. So for me, first the language was a barrier, as the people there. So in India, there are two prominent languages, English and Hindi. But in the northern region, Hindi being the main language of India, so we were more used to speak like in Hindi, especially. Uh, if not the local language, maybe the language. But when we moved to Bangalore, so in northern region, Bangalore, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and all, so people prefer their languages or the English language. And the localities with the corporates, it's fine. You can speak in English, but with the localities, since they do not come from that background, so it was a bit difficult because they would speak in local language and we had no idea. We didn't know their language, so we can't speak with them in English, and they don't know Hindi. So it was kind of a barrier initially, but maybe later, when I started living there, I picked up a few words. Suppose if I have to go to a place and I book a ride through Rapido or Uber, so I would just tell them I need to reach there. So maybe when you have context, so you can just explain to them. Yes, but it was a bit difficult. The festivals are totally different. When I was in North, definitely Punjab and Uttarakhand will have still similar like some festivals and some common things, as we share the borders and it's closer states. But in Bangalore, it was very different. The festivals, the language, the way people live, and Yeah, but it was overall, it was a good experience. I think I explored a few places there. I even to Ooty. It was very nice place, which I believe. And yeah, since I was far from my place, so I think yeah, I would always prefer some place which is closer to my parents' house or maybe my in-laws' house. That's about it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So I'm wondering, like during school or maybe when you were younger or even now, did you have
Hmm.
hobbies or sports or anything that you liked?
Hobbies and sports, I do like to sketch sometimes. I hardly get time right now as I'm busy with my but whenever I get time, I would like to sketch something, or maybe I can watch Netflix, Prime, or anything on the
Oh yeah, yeah,
OTT.
me too.
Yeah. Hmm.
Do you
Hmm.
think these hobbies maybe show or like maybe they change your personality or show up in how you work or are with others?
Um, I think it's more connected to us. I don't know about how it changes your personality or anything, but I believe when I need an escape from the busy life, or I want to I need some kind of mental peace or something, I would say, then I would get some time and sit in a corner and I would sketch, or maybe that's how I feel I can relax myself. So that's how it is. Changing your personalities is a different things. Yes, sometimes it could help us understand the world, like watching Netflix and Prime. These stories are like इन्हीं stories से like वो बनी है तो yes, these things could help us understand the world in a better manner, or maybe understand the people. But for me, it's more like my time to relax.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, me too. I relate to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, as a company secretary, um,
Hmm?
what are the further steps beyond where you're at right now? Is there more? Do you have more goals that and higher steps to achieve?
Yeah. So I would tell you, if I talk about the scores in India, no. So, as in the near future, or maybe 5 6 years down the line, I would like to be seated in the top level, maybe as legal counsel, or the legal head of the company. So that's what I plan to. It's a little long journey, but yes, that's my goal, my where I want to reach. uh well, see.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm curious about your first job, since I know for a lot of people, getting the start of the career it has a lot of
Hmm.
struggles, right? What were some
Yeah.
struggles you faced when you were going to start your career?
Okay, so on that part, no, I'll instead of my job, so I'll go to the job for, secondly. First, I'll start with my training. For me, my first job was my training part. Okay, so in India, for this company secretaryship program, no, it's the training is similar to in the training also you're supposed to work in the normal 8 9 hours of time. Okay, and it's more like a job. It's just that since you are an intern, you have to learn, and the remuneration is comparatively low, and once you get the degree, then you get to full-fledgedly work as a company secretary. So when I moved to Delhi, it was around near 2015 when I moved here. So for me, finding a training was something I have to get it quickly. Coming from a middle class family, no. So first thing in your mind is you need to find a job so you can at least financially manage some part of your finances. I started appearing for the interviews before the CA firms, CS firms, law firms, and companies. So I think within a period of 1 month, I got this offer from a firm, which is in the central part of Delhi. It's a CA firm, and they have been in India for more than 45 years now. So, so in a CA firm, I got this opportunity to work under a senior company secretary, wherein I learned all sort of compliances for private companies, non-banking financial companies, public companies. So these sort of compliances. Yes, for me, the part where I found it difficult, what difficulties I faced, I would say. So first thing was in Delhi NCR, no, commuting to your workplace itself is a challenge. Okay, now I used to live in South Delhi somewhere, and I have to travel in Central Delhi. So at that point of time, we used to take the bus more frequently, as the place I was living was more was connected to buses in a better manner than into the metros. Plus, the metros used to be very crowded at that point. So I always prefer to travel through bus. It would take around 1.5 year first to reach the office, since because of the traffic and all. Then I would work there for like 8 9 hours, and once I'm back in home, I have to focus on my studies also. Since this CS program, it's not it's not considered very easy, education in India. It's a professional program, and you have to pass the exam. So there's a percentage you have to crack, and then only you can get the degree. So in India, I think at that point of time, the overall passing percentage for CSS used to be like 10% of the people who enrolled for this course. So yes, for me, managing the work and then focusing on the education, and then as I was living far from my parents, I had to manage the chores also for my home. So yes, that was a pretty time. But since I was young, and I was a studious student, so I managed to clear that exam. Um, yeah, I remember reading. When I used to travel to my commute to my office place also, no. So I remember reading books also. So I would take screenshots of some books, some e-books on my phone or something, and then I would read like while traveling. For me, wasting 2 3 hours just in the commute time, it was a waste, which I consider. So I used to keep an ebook or some reading material in my phone, and then I would read, and that's how I would travel to office. And whenever I used to get time in office also, I would just open my book and start reading something so that I can prepare for the next stages. So in so yeah, that's about it. And the first job, I would tell you an interesting story. So when I cleared CS, no, in 2016. So there are three stages, as I mentioned earlier. First is foundation, then executive, and professional. So I cleared executive foundation in one go. For executive level, I was able to crack the exams immediately. And after executive is when we enroll for the training. Okay. So it was around 2015 when I was when I started this professional level. So we were required to appear for 8 subjects, eight different subjects, and different 8 different papers. So uh, yes, when I appeared for the first two, so you don't have to appear for all the 8 subjects in one go. You can choose whether you want to. So there are 4 different groups for with 2 subjects each. I started focusing on 4 papers first as I was doing the training and managing the home and like managing the travel and not everything. It was like it was. I thought it is more logical to focus on 4 papers first, and then maybe I can go to the next 4 subjects. So when I appeared for the first 4 papers, I failed that exam. Okay, so I reappeared after 6 months. So here in this program, it's like after 6 months you can reappear for the exams until you pass those exams. So after 6 months, I passed those subjects, and then I started working on the remaining 4 subjects. Okay. So at that point of time, again I was doing my training, and when I appeared for the exam, no, so I failed, and then I enrolled again, like for the next exams after 6 months, which is supposed to be after 6 months. And when I enrolled for the remaining 4 subjects for the second time, I failed again. Okay. So then I lost hope of passing these exams. I thought I'll do something else. I'll focus on my graduation. Maybe I'll go for postgrad, or maybe I'll start something else. And I started appearing for the interviews also. Okay. And but since I had reached at a stage where I can't leave this professional degree, I thought I'll just give the exam for the third time. Just for the sake of it, like ऐसे ही दे देती हूँ. ठीक है. And I started appearing for the interviews and all, and I was like, no, I'm not going to focus on this professional degree. I'll leave it. I'll do something else. Anyways, I've wasted my time studying so much, and I'm getting nothing. So I was like that at that point of time. But yeah, and actually, I got a job also. Like in Accenture, I got a job for in a very good profile. And when I got the job, when I got the offer, after few days of that, it was the day when we get our results. And I had no hopes. I failed 2 times. I'm not going to pass this time, and I'll just leave it. But I still, since I had given the exam, I just checked the results, and I passed those exams. Okay. So now I'm like, what should I do? Whether I should leave this program or should I continue and what? And then I told, no, I've passed the exam. Let's focus on this. So I left the job offer, and so for the degree also, no, you are supposed to get some sort of sessions and all before you get the degree. So when I passed the exams, I got those sessions done, and then I got the degree and all, and then I thought I'll just go into corporates with this profile itself. And yeah, I joined a job in a CA firm. Somehow I didn't like that firm, so I left it within 2 months. Then I joined one more company. Then I left it like I think within a month. So I didn't like maybe the work culture or certain other things done that I didn't like. The first serious job that I did was with a company in Gurgaon, where I worked for around 2.5 years, and where I learned everything like handling all sort of compliances. Yeah, that was about it. It was the journey. The difficult part was training, I would say, not the job for me.
Yeah, wow, that was a lot. Yeah. What would
Hmm.
you recommend to someone who would go down a similar line like this?
So I would say don't lose the hope, yes, but be practical. Keep the other things also open. Like you should not like. Uh, these things happen. See, so if you have failed in some things, like if, for example, I was not able to crack this exam in first two. So if you failed in something, don't lose the hope that you failed in life. So job is just a part of your life or anything, I would say. It's just a part of your life. There are hard times, there are bad times, and the hard times will pass. It's just like that. You don't have to take everything very seriously. Yes, there are things you must be serious about, but don't take things too seriously. Time will pass, and these things won't matter in the long run. So if you're not able to do something right now, maybe you are better at something else. Like maybe you're very good at something else, and that's why the life wants you to take you to that route, and maybe to the in the another route you'll find more growth and progress. That's what I would say in general. And if I talk about the course, yes, definitely enroll for this course, and it's a very good professionally, very I would say uh, it has very good scope, especially when in India there is a new trend that like earlier when I completed. We used to have the traditional profile where we would handle the regular compliances, but now, as the time is emerging, so I'll tell you from past 4 years, I've been working with the startups kind of setups. So, wherein the venture investors have their monies invested in the company. And now in India, the trends and change. Earlier, for the IPOs and all, na, only initial public offering for the listing and all, only the bigger companies would move. Okay. But now in India, from past few years, you would see a lot of companies going for the IPOs or public listing. So my profile is like that. When a company is setting up its business in India or it's in the mid level, maybe for those companies, I have to handle the fundraise related things. Whenever like with the venture investors are investing in the company, I'm supposed to take care of all the compliances, the entire process. And maybe once this is done, maybe then I can help them with the IPO journey. So it's the recent trend in India for the startups and all. And I would say, as a company secretary, it's it's a, I would say, money wise, it's good, definitely. And then learning wise, you are learning a lot of things. You get to interact with the law firms, the venture investors, and multiple stakeholders. You get to learn a lot of compliances, the processes, and everything. And definitely, yes. And in the long run, definitely, if you have so much of knowledge, in the long run, definitely you can crack any interview and you can go to the top of management and maybe head the legal department or maybe the compliance department of the company. That's it has a lot of scope in today's time. School.
Yeah, yeah. So I'd like to switch gears a little bit towards AI, actually. So,
Mm-hmm.
how do you see AI pop up in your field?
AI, I would say it is very helpful, especially for me. I would say especially when you're drafting any contracts or any maybe the letters and all. Na? Maybe the initial part, I would say I would not. I uh, would say uh, it helps in I would say refining what we have already drafted to the lawyers and to the company secretaries. It can help with that. Okay. So I have seen that. I would tell you an instance. We got a lease date from one of our locations, like a local, some finance person was handling it, and he got a lease date from the owner saying that we have to execute this, and the language which was written was a local language. Okay, in fact. Local भी नहीं बोलूंगी. I would say it was just Hindi. And in fact, if you have read the Hindi, the original Hindi, na, it's not that easy. Right? Typical words. Not the normal Hindi, but the traditional Hindi, I would say. So the words in Hindi itself are very difficult. It's not like what we speak in everyday thing. And especially
Oh,
when it comes
yeah.
to legal language, the words are like, you will not, अरे ये क्या लिखा है? ये ऐसा हो जाता है. So I got this lease deed and I was like, now we Hindi being our first language, we can speak it very fluently and we can write it. But when it comes to the clauses, it's the English language we are used to. Okay, it's not the Hindi language. Now I got this released it and now I don't know like what to do, like how to draft it, and it would take a lot of time if I have to draft it in Hindi. And the owner was not okay, like he wanted it in Hindi itself. So what I did, I understood what was written in the agreement and all, and I just so the clauses which I wanted to incorporate in the leases, I did, I drafted in English, and then I put it in Chat GPT, like just make it in Hindi, and the result was so good. I was tell you, the AI, with the help of AI, I got this clause drafted in Hindi itself, and it was very well drafted. And I just copy pasted, and that's it. That's what I did. If I had to like sit and draft it from scratch, like in Hindi language, so I would have taken at least few hours. But yes, with the help of AI, I was doing it. In fact, whenever we are drafting contracts, I would say I do not like put 100% trust in chat gpt, especially when it comes to the legal language, because how you read the normal language and how the legal language is drafted, it's very different. So yes, maybe I would draft the clauses and I can draft any document, and if I have to refine the language and maybe make it more in a concise manner, or maybe if I want to add certain facts, so then I can definitely take the help of AI. But yes,
Yeah.
it can't be replaced with the human intelligence. That's what I would say.
Yeah, yeah. I know AI chatbots like ChatGPT can especially now
Hmm.
tend to have a lot of misinformation, especially. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen it just say something completely incorrect?
Yeah, I have seen and I have tried it for the legal interpretation, like what should be the interpretation of this clause and all. So it came out to us that it's not something you can trust 100%. Yes, you can take the help, but don't go blindly with what is coming in the chat GPT or maybe the AI.
Oh yeah, yeah. Have you seen like someone use it irresponsibly where it turns out that using the AI had made the work worse?
I don't think so. I think the people I'm working with, they are qualified and they have good knowledge and all. Maybe because that's because I have not seen them misusing it. But yes, I have seen people around us expecting us that since you can draft it with the chat GPT, can you give it to us in few hours? Maybe. So that's how people request us to around us. But yes, then to explain them that this is the legal language, is not the normal language, and we can't rely on ChatGPT. That so it's getting difficult for us because people are expecting that since the drafting is so easy now, so maybe a contract can be drafted in an hour or maybe so. So, but that's not how it is. I've seen in like Instagram, maybe on in certain reels also, that you can draft a contract and like with ChatGPT, and but that's not how it's done, and it will be a blunder if you are doing it just through the ChatGPT. So maybe I would say the people around us are having now unrealistic expectations from us, but yeah, the teams I've not seen. Maybe because I'm working with experienced people, or maybe if there are juniors or maybe who are just starting their career, they would definitely go for ChatGPT. Everybody is doing that, so they might do some mistakes or blunder, but not to my knowledge as of now.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a lot of hype around AI, what it can and
Yeah,
can't do, and usually people try to say what it can do and never think about what it cannot do. So,
cannot do.
if they don't work, I think I've seen that a lot too. Even just in high
Mm.
school, only in high school, I've
Mm.
seen a lot that there's such high
Mm.
expectations. But if you work with AI and you work with this field, it's very clear that it's not going to do that much.
Yeah.
But that does make me wonder, as AI
Mm.
progresses even more, maybe chatbots get smarter, maybe chatbots specialize towards doing things like drafting contracts in good legal
Mm.
language. Do you
Mhm.
think eventually AI can advance enough to like make a contract in a few hours only?
I don't know. Maybe they can help with the standard formats, but contract is not just about drafting and all. Or I would any say anything like anything related to the interpretation of laws. It's always the human minds which we need like for the interpretation, and maybe whenever we are drafting the contracts also. So for contracts, you just don't write anything. You have to link the things with business and the other the finance and other sort of teams. So that human intelligence that I don't think AI would be able to take over. So yes, AI can help, but it can't take over anything, or maybe it can't help in like completely with anything.
Oh yeah.
So it can just help with to certain portion, but not the entire contract or entire thing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, thank you for taking the time to meet with me. That's all of my questions. Is there anything you'd like to ask me?
No, nothing now.
All right then.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching this episode of Narrative Tales. If you enjoyed, you should check out some of my other videos as well.